Ahoy hoy YouTube modeling community, it's Lazy Eye Modeler here in the Woody Workshop's Homes basement. This is where we display our finished models such as they are. You'll be seeing a lot of die cast and whatnot here as well. Not that I'm a die cast collector, but I have accumulated some over the years. What you're looking at right now is an old latch hooked rug kit that I found at a yarn store that I stopped off with my wife, and I thought it was just too cool, and I decided I should get it. And I guess you could say that's my other hobby, but that's the only one I've done, and that's the only one I've intended to do. At some point in the future I'll show my wife's hobbies, and she does traditional rug hooking, which is different than this latch rug hooking, but that's a subject for another day. So the first cabinet I want to show is right here, and I just have to move back so you can see it. That cabinet right there is from my father's hardware store. It used to display, they sold some watches and other jewelry and whatnot, small appliances like razors and that type of thing. They had a couple of these. I was lucky enough to get this one. And there's some of the Model A stuff and other stuff on top of it. Anyway, I was lucky enough to get this one. Right now it's mainly filled with, the bottom two levels have a lot of Model A metal models type of thing, since I'm definitely into the Model A's. And the top is other die cast and stuff that I've managed to accumulate over time, including a cool little metal Zamboni. Which, being Canadian, even though I don't skate, that would be a sure sign of disaster if I tried skating, because I had to as a kid, and that was a sad experience. Anyway, so that's mainly what's in that cabinet. There's a couple of old Dinky and Corgis, the silver Aston Martin and the Capri, and a couple of matchboxes, 2 or 3 matchboxes that I've had since I was a kid. And there's the Batmobile that I got when I was a kid, the Corgi Batmobile. And I've had this Jeep type Tonka truck since I was a kid as well. So there's some old memories in there and some new memories in there. Now the other cabinet, which is where you'll see some of the models you may have seen on my videos. That's a cabinet that my father-in-law had in their house. He had some photography equipment and boxes of slides and whatnot. It was kind of built into a closet, but it's a good display cabinet. You can see through on both sides, and you can see some of my models there. Let's go down here. You can see the that Mod Squad Woody that I've had since a kid, the Dodge A100 that I built, the old, I'm kind of in the block and the light here, but the old 41 Chev pickup Rum Runners Moonshiners truck. I built that Homer Mobile. That'll be another story someday. As well as the Hubley Woody. Unfortunately, it is kind of dark in there. You can see the Pontiac Ponchero, or whatever you want to call it. Not quite complete, never will be complete, I don't think. The drag car's a friend who passed on, Gary Dowling, he built that. I built that extended Dodge Charger limousine with a psychedelic paint, and that the Dodge Dart there, and some others. There's some old built-ups I've acquired over the years, although the 32 Ford on the end is mine, and again some metal Model A's. So if I ever do finish stuff will change around in that cabinet. And then lastly, just where that rug was, we have this old China cabinet, and I got on a real VW kick for a while. Excuse me, the camera's going to jerk a bit, but So I got on a real VW kick for a while, and everything that's in here right now, or almost everything, is VW. And then lastly, there's a couple of friends from a couple models from a friend who passed on, Dave Evans. He did some great work, and we purchased those from the estate to help raise money. And I love seeing them there. They're a couple of really cool models. Anyway, that's part one of this video of where I display my models. And we'll cover Godfather Kustom Bernie's question on other hobbies in a moment here. Thank you. This is an indication of one of the other hobbies, and we'll blend this into the rest of the video. Okay, here's my other hobby, painting bird baths. Well, no, not really. This just got hauled in from the garden to be freshened up before going back in the back garden. The real hobby is, well, I guess you'd call it a hobby, is right there. It's been pretty much ignored for the last 4 or 5 years, but before that we drove it all over the province of Ontario pretty much. I have to get back to it, and I can hear my friend Steve now watching this saying, yes, get your you-know-what into gear, but we've got to finish some yard work and whatnot before we get back to this, but I hope to have Archie the A back on the road again this year. I guess you could say that's my other hobby. I really don't have much otherwise besides models, and when I do get my behind in gear working on this car and driving it, unless you consider driving or reading, do a lot of reading, and of course do a lot of surfing the net and watching YouTube videos and all the time you can waste there. But I've really, my only hobbies have been the models and the Model A. At least the models, if you screw them up, it's not a big deal. You screw this poor old car up, that's another matter altogether. Probably getting some wind noise. We've gone from really hot, muggy weather here to now it's just above single digits. It's 10-11 degrees, which is, I don't know, low 50s. Anyway, that's it for this video, and we'll return to regular broadcasting later. Talk to you later, guys. Bye now.